Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin. I'm doing an article on the 5 mega and minor menu trends for 2015. I found this article at restaurantbusinessonline.com. So these food critics basically are going around and they're discussing what they think for the next 12 months the main menu trends that most restaurants are going to have on their menu will be. The one that they've come out with for 2015 has 3 major trends and 2 minor trends. So the major trends are Italian, spicy, and healthy, and the 2 minor trends are authentic ingredients and elevated descriptions. So for Italian, let's see. So apparently, despite lots of talk about Asian flavors and other ethnic cuisines, they're only showing up on a small number of menus, while the Italian food ended up growing on most of the menus on 2014. Authentic pasta varieties went from appearing on less than 500 menus to nearly 2,000 menus, and dishes such as gnocchi, manicotti, and tortellini increased by 3% in both upscale and quick service chain restaurants, especially those serving American cuisine. Most industry predictions have been geared towards health, which is opposite of Italian cuisines. Their core components sway towards rich carb-heavy dishes and fattier ingredients such as bacon, lace carbonara. It may have been the sub-zero winter that lingered long into spring that held many consumers, towards more warm, heartier meals. Or the Italian boom could be riding on the coattails of the authentic ingredient trend, which is also one of the minor trends of 2015. And since there are hundreds of different varieties of pasta, cheeses, and proteins, it's one of those easy things to bring in a restaurant that it doesn't require a lot of money and customers can get usually for a good price. Pick a pasta, a cheese, a sauce, and a protein, and that's an easy meal right there. With consumers, and especially because consumers are very familiar with Italian ingredients, it's likely that the Italian theme will evolve and reveal itself in more ways across food service and across the country, and that's where the operators can capitalize, like I said earlier. Well, there are more than 25 Italian-related terms that have experienced significant growth on American menus. A few stand out as leaders in the trend, namely piccata, bolognese, and manicotti. Okay, so the next trend is spicy. The continued rise of spicy flavors and ingredients is hardly a surprise. It was a big trend in 2013, and with time, it's only gotten bigger. But whereas before, spicy was growing in many places, the term spicy now appears on more than 60% of menus, and while there aren't likely to be rapid changes in 2015, it says that the spicy trend is going to evolve. So in restaurants now, on most of the menus, you can find little chilies next to the dish, and it says like 1, 2, 3, depending on the level of spiciness. You can also add chilies to almost any dish. You can say, make it spicy, make it extra spicy, and the kitchen pretty much knows how to, or knows that they can make your dish spicy. Also an increase in red pepper flakes. I've noticed with almost any meal you can get red pepper flakes, and it goes with almost any meal. There's usually a red pepper flake shaker on the table, which makes it really easy. So the next trend is healthy, which has been building for years, but the Better For You movement finally gained enough steam last year to move past side dishes and take over the center of the plate. While kale, quinoa, and chickpeas made waves in entrees, the trend has matured beyond specific ingredient mentions. So many of the restaurants are coming up with vegan dishes, gluten-free dishes, and it says vegan appears on 5% of menus, and 1 in 10 chain restaurants has a gluten-free menu item. Overall, there will be more good-for-you items on menus next year, from protein alternatives to low-fat substitutes. What likely won't go mainstream are organic products. They are simply too expensive for most chains to adopt. Consequently, it's highly unlikely that menus mentions the term organic will ever broach 20%. Let's see. In fact, most of the vast majority of locations serving gluten-free items are QSRs, which is really interesting. So the first minor trend is authentic ingredients. So it says, while Italian ingredients by far experienced the most growth, they were part of the general tilt towards restaurants of all cuisine types, making more mention of the authentic ingredients they use. For instance, it's happening on a larger scale with ingredients such as oaxaca, cotija, cheeses, which have been used in Mexican restaurants forever, but are now mentioned on 4% of the Latin American menus. The growth in authentic ingredients is a direct result of consumer demographics. The American population is more diverse than ever, and consumers, especially millennials, crave new foods as a connection to different cultures. Menu mentions of specific ingredients serve as cues to the authenticity and heritage of a dish. And the last minor trend is elevated descriptions. So Food Genius's analysis of more than 600,000 menu items revealed a significant increase in elegant and pleasant sounding sensory terms. Words such as quality enjoyed growth in almost every type of restaurant, from upscale Mediterranean independents to inexpensive all-American QSRs. Other terms such as artisan grew by large margins in chains, only begging the question, is artisan fast casual's new premium? Let's see, I think that's it. So the 5 main menu trends were Italian, spicy, healthy, authentic ingredients, and elevated descriptions. And those are your menu trends for 2015. Be looking out for them. Thank you.